Hey you, it's me. And I'm seething with anger at this moment. This, as you're probably aware, or if you're not, is Anderson Cooper. And he has a son now. I didn't even know that until I heard about this reporting. The reporting was in regards to Kyle Rittenhouse. And Anderson Cooper decided to put on one of Kyle's attackers, Gage, Gross Skanks, that's as close as I'm going to get to his name, who admitted in court that he put his gun out and aimed at Kyle Rittenhouse before Kyle shot him in the shoulder. This man is also seeking millions of dollars, $10 million or some crazy shit like that. And he was the attacker. He is not the victim. But here, because he was in court, because he was on the stand and admitted that he was the attacker, and this is against what CNN and NBC and all these other media stations were saying, they took it upon themselves, including Anderson Cooper, to bring him on to talk about what he really meant when he was on the stand, because it ruins their narrative. And this shocks me because I actually had respect for Anderson Cooper at one time. He used to have a daytime show that I watched religiously, I enjoyed. And here he is trying so desperately to get Kyle committed to being some white supremacist who shot up a bunch of black guys, which isn't even what happened. Kyle Rittenhouse was out there to help. He had some training, limited training in emergency medical technician work, and he wanted to go out there and see if he could help people who needed it, to paint graffiti and to try to put out fires. This is not the makings of a murderer. This is a child, a young man who I guess is now 19, 17 at the time, a young man going out to try to help people and ended up having to do the ultimate in self-defense to keep himself alive. And these disgusting cretins like Anderson Cooper trying to paint this picture, this narrative that's completely opposite to what reality is. And I think to myself, Anderson Cooper, you have a son. What if your son got caught up in the middle of something like this? And what if your son, who was a good kid, had to protect himself in the only way he possibly could? And then what if the media, the frickin' president of the United States, and the FBI were against your son and tried to make your son into a murderer? How would that make you feel? Maybe that might give you an insight as to what this poor young man has had to go through. PTSD for having to fight for his life, and then over and over again people accusing him of things that he didn't do. He shouldn't even be on trial. He didn't do anything wrong. Gage, he's the one who should be in jail right now. He's the one who assaulted and tried to gun down a young 17-year-old boy who is just going out there to help. Anderson Cooper, you're absolutely disgusting. You make me sick. That's all I gotta say.